Hey, boys and girls, Dr. Berry here. I'm going to be joined in a few moments by Carrie Brown, author of numerous cookbooks and a previous sufferer of bipolar disorder, and we're going to be talking about social stigma and what you can do about it. Hey, Amanda, you guys are welcome to share this in your keto or your low-carb, high-fat group. You can also share it on your Facebook page. You have my permission. I say that because I've had so many people message me and say, I loved your video. I wish I could share it. And I'm like, you can. It's fine. You really can. So you guys, if you know anyone who would like to know more about this topic or more about keto in general, please share this with them. You can send a direct message with the link. You can do it all kinds of ways. If you're watching on the replay, Carrie and I will check back every day or so, and we'll try to answer your questions. So if you're watching on the replay, you can still leave your questions in the comments, and we'll go back and try to answer those as we can. I'm waiting for Carrie Brown to join me. I see Carrie Brown watching as her page. I don't know if I can invite her to join that way. Carrie, see it? Do you have a button that you can say, let me join? Wait, maybe I can do it right here. Oh, I got you. I got her. No, I can't add her. She went live as her page? No, I don't think so. I just don't have an add button. How come I don't have an add button?
Do you hold down on it?
Yeah, see, there's no add button here, but then see, when I hold down on it, it doesn't do anything because what's that about?
Say hi.
Yeah, say hi in a message, Carrie Brown. Then I think I can add you.
Not in a message.
I can add you. Yeah, like as a comment. Right, exactly. Thank you guys for joining us. I think you're going to really enjoy this conversation. Carrie Brown is a hoot, and her accent, I don't have an accent, but she has a great accent. So you guys will love her, I think. I'm just glad that I don't have an accent. Aren't you? Get over here if you're going to just be in it and say hi. Look, Nisha Berry. Oh, mwah. Carrie Brown, if you're watching this, say hi in the comments so I can see you.
What the crap?
I know, right? I think when she says hi in the comments.
I didn't see yo.
She said yo?
That's not the right Carrie. That's a different Carrie. There she is. Hey.
There.
What?
Yeah, it's that thing where we... Oh, Carrie, you're going to have to get on... What is she, on her phone and she has to be on her laptop?
She knows to be on her phone. Surely she remembers that.
Yeah.
Can't do it on your laptop, Carrie.
You got to be on your phone, I think.
As long as you're on your phone, it should be working. I'm not sure what's happening here.
I do not have an accent, Amanda Willis. I don't even know what you're talking about. Why would you say such a thing? We'll give Carrie a second to get on her phone.
She said hello again.
I know, but I think I can't add you. From however you're doing it, I can't add you. You got to get on the other thing. Get on your other device. Thank you guys for joining us. Just hang tight. We'll get this figured out in a second. Ooh, wow. Oh, I ain't got no... Oh, sorry. That was kind of fun. Let's do another one. What's this?
Baby shark, da 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 da. Baby shark, da 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 da. I didn't know I was actually gonna sing that. Everybody that has kids is cussing
Get that
you
off.
right
That's
now.
terrible. Sorry about that. I apologize to everybody who's grown about that. I don't know what happened.
I don't know how to get this off now.
Oh, now you. Oh, I saw the little thing.
She is on her phone. I don't know how to get her on here. Then it keeps saying no, no, no.
Yeah, it won't let me add you. However you're doing it, so maybe get on your laptop if you were on your phone. I don't know. Hey, John Kaufman. Hope you're doing well, brother.
Oh, there she is. Okay, here we go. We got it. We got it now.
So excited. I haven't seen Carrie Brown in a minute. It says she's connecting. Oh, there she is. The world famous Carrie Brown. So many cookbooks that even Nisha Berry can't keep up with it. You're currently frozen, Carrie. I don't know what's going on there. Is it going to be one of those lives? Is it going to be like that? You guys, tell me where you're from. I see Colorado Springs. Where are you from? Nisha's going to be cooking me steak and eggs while I'm living the dream, John. I hear you, brother. Away. I don't know. She's going to have to just give me say hi again, Carrie, when you reconnect. Yeah, I promise Carrie Brown's going to be here. I don't know. Hey, hey, Arlene, thanks so much. We love doing these lives and giving this information. Am I distorted, or was Carrie Brown distorted? Florida, hey, Florida, Melody. Leah from Perth in Australia. Jennifer from Louisiana. Christina from California. All right. Now, Carrie, I see you're watching again, but I don't think I have the little add button. Add you now, whatever you're doing now. Oh, you're cooking chicken thighs and pork chops, Pam. Very nice. Okay, now, Carrie, let me see what I can do here. Nope. However you're doing it now, I can't add you again. I don't know what you're doing differently. We may have to go from, I don't know. Is your Facebook, it's public, right? Right. I don't know what's going on. Call her, Nisha, and see if you can talk her through it. Yeah, however you did it, you were on for a second, Carrie, but then you were gone. So do it again like you did it before, and then I think we can get this. Brenda says she can't do thumbs up and hearts. Aurora from Calgary. Hey, Aurora. Okay, now I think maybe Carrie Brown, I can. Nope, all it gives me is pin comment, block Carrie Brown, and I don't want to do any of those. Washington. Hey, Carrie, I don't have an accent, do I? You guys, do you think I have an accent? Be honest. I can take it. Just tell me in the comments if I have an accent. I just think I don't have an accent. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Yeah, I can't add you, Carrie. However you're on now, you got to have to do it to you. Let me try it here. Bring Carrie. Yeah, okay. There we go. Let me try it again. Here we go. Don't move, Carrie. We're going to try. I think we're going to get it. 12-ounce ribeye is what Becky's having. Ah, Carrie Brown.
It's only you. I have this problem.
I think it must be me, because you and John Lemansky are both very intelligent human beings, but when it comes to doing a live with me, I just don't have any luck at all. I don't even know what's going on. How you doing, Carrie? Is your headache gone?
Last time we did this, we did it on my wall, and it was perfect. Like, yay, we've got this down, and then here we are again.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's good to see you again. Is your headache better?
My headache is better. I'm Jenny is being a bee, and if you all don't know who Jenny is the name I gave to my Lyme disease. And every day Jenny gives me a new symptom. So we had the almost daily headache, and today we added heel pain. So when I walk, I have this really bad pain in my right heel. Classic Lyme. Oh well. Man.
Yeah. Yeah. That damn Jenny Lyme disease, man. She's a bee, no doubt about it. So what have you been up to? Have you been up to any new projects or anything we need to know about, Carrie?
Oh my goodness. Well, so let me tell you that the thing that Jenny is really, really good at is making me lose my mind. She's eating my brain.
Oh,
so
no.
My ability to recall is somewhat limited these days.
How long ago?
I did get a box of pork today delivered. The Keto Cowboy on Instagram kindly sent me a big box of fabulous fresh pork, so I'm excited about that. So that was really cool for today. My deck's finished. The deck was finished today.
And you got your French doors in?
And I got my French doors in, so I can actually get out of my house now, which is cool. So nice. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Excellent. I love it. So if for the two people who are watching this who don't know who you are, give us a 30 or 60-second intro of who you are, what you do, and why they should care.
So my name's Carrie Brown, and I talk funny. And I moved to America 17 years ago, and I spend my time mostly developing recipes and writing cookbooks to support you all on your ketogenic journeys. My goal in life is to prove to the world that eating a ketogenic diet can be simple, easy, and way more delicious than the standard American diet that you've spent all your years eating. So that's what I do. And, you know, and I'm doing lives now, and I've just started producing videos because people want cooking lessons without coming to Connecticut. And so, yeah, so that's what I do. And that's what I focus my time on.
And how many cookbooks do you have in publication now, and how could someone find your cookbooks if they would like to peruse them?
So I have 5 cookbooks. I have the Keto Soup Bowl, the Keto Crock Pot, the Keto Ice Cream Scoop. I have Keto for the Holidays and 101 Keto Beverages. And then I also co-wrote, and by co-wrote I mean I did all the recipes, for Kick-Ass Keto, which is a 28-day quick start guide, and I co-wrote that with Brian Williamson from Keto Evangelist and Rekka J.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, what in the world?
Where to get them? So
yes, where to get them?
The lovely, ever effervescent Nisha Berry will put links in the show notes or up the top there when we're done, so that you
Nisha,
can.
You've been tasked with putting links to Carrie's cookbooks in the show notes, because Carrie trusts you to do that.
Yes, because Nisha's really good at all this stuff, and apparently I'm not so much.
She is really good at it. So what in the world are we going to talk about tonight?
Well, I thought that it would be super cool if we talked about something that we hear a lot in our Facebook groups that we run. A lot of people have struggle with the reaction that they get from friends and family, or even random strangers, restaurant staff. You know, that there's a lot of people struggle with feedback or pushback, negative pushback that they get from people. And also just social stigma in general, because it's a lot more than just keto. And you know that my passion is mental health. And so there's a lot of social stigma generally about people with bipolar or people with other mental health issues. So we can go there as well if we have time and people want to.
Absolutely. Now, you guys watching, we've got 600 watching now. If you know a family member or a friend who's been getting some social or family kickback about wanting to eat low carb, healthy fat, or keto, or carnivore, please, you can click share, and I think you can invite individual friends, and you can scroll through and invite all the friends and family who need to be watching this, and share it on your Facebook page if you have somebody that's been trolling you or bullying you about your dietary choices, and maybe they'll watch this and they'll wise up and they'll leave you alone. But please feel free to share this. I don't care, and I don't think Carrie minds at all if you share this. We're doing this for you guys, to help you and to help your family and friends.
Yep, I no longer care what people think of me. So
right.
The more shares, the more we can help. That's what I really care about.
Absolutely. Really, the biggest step in life for me was when I just stopped caring what other people thought and just tried to do a really good job. That was like one of the keys for me early in my life. And it's like, oh, that's the secret to life. Just don't care and work hard and do a good job and try to, you know, be honest and moral and ethical and upright. And it seems to work out pretty good.
Yeah. And I have to admit that I struggled for a long time caring about what people thought. But then, so it's a relatively, I'd say about 12 years ago, I decided that I was going to stop caring And I have to tell you that, and you probably found the same thing, that life got infinitely better. Like at the second after I decided I no longer cared what people thought. I didn't care about people's opinions, because they are simply that. It's an opinion. It's not a fact. So when I stopped caring about people's opinion, life got infinitely better immediately. And it has continued to get better immediately. So probably do the takeaway at the beginning of this, not the end. Stop caring what people think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the key to so many things in life.
Okay, I'm just sharing it out to all our groups here.
Yes, share away. And you guys, if you shared this video, type shared in the comments so that we can thank you. And don't forget to hit the thumbs and hearts, because that kicks. Hey, John Lemansky, the world famous Dr. John Lemansky is watching this right
Yay,
now. I just got goosebumps. I got goosebumps in places you shouldn't have goosebumps.
I love it. Actually, John
yes.
I'm super excited. John is coming to record a Keto Evangelist Kitchen podcast with Brian and I tomorrow. So,
Nice.
but both of my two favorite doctors now will have had on the Kitchen podcast. I'm super excited about that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So let's talk about social stigma first, as it applies to your diet, what you choose to eat, how you choose to improve your health, because that's what we're all trying to do keto for, is to get healthier, right? Some people are using it to lose weight, that is getting healthier, but some people are using it to keep their chronic autoimmune disease at bay, or their chronic mental issues at bay. How do you cope with, give us some examples of what you've tolerated and how you've coped with that, and some coping skills that you might recommend, Carrie?
So, as I just said, the biggest turning point for me was simply deciding that somebody else's opinion was simply an opinion, and an opinion is not a fact. And I decided that I was going to focus on the facts, not on opinion. So if someone said to me, that is a really unhealthy way to eat, the fact, that's their opinion, but the fact is that I feel better than I've ever felt eating this way. So therefore, I'm not going to care about an opinion that it's not healthy for me if my own evidence, what my body is telling me, what my symptoms are telling me, how I feel, is giving me direct evidence that is contrary to that. Did that make sense?
It did. Yeah, absolutely. And so just because someone has an opinion, like, I guess, and also when I was younger, like, people's opinions would hurt my feelings, it would hurt me in my heart if somebody thought what I was doing was wrong or stupid or whatever. But I think part of it is just when you become more mature, you're just like, yeah, that's your opinion. Everybody's got one, and I don't really care what you think. But this is so much more than that, because you guys all realize, if you're eating keto, you realize that trying to change someone's diet, the way they eat, is very close to being the same thing as trying to change their religion. It's very, we're trying to say, oh, food is fuel. Eat the right food, and your machine will get better. But so many people hear their mom's voice subconsciously, or their dad's voice, or my grandmother used to make me pancakes and syrup, and so how dare you say that that's bad for me? You're saying my grandmother was mean and bad, and so it really gets emotional when you start talking about food. It gets emotional very quickly for some people. Some people don't see food as fuel. They see food as emotion and love and family and all that stuff, and so it's all kind of wrapped up in that mess. And so for some people, it's very hard to separate that. And so when somebody says something negative about their way of eating, it's hurtful.
I also think that the two things, if Jenny will let me remember them both, people hate change. And so when they see change in someone else, even if it's positive change, they can be very resistant, because any change you do that people around you see, you're upsetting their status quo, even though it's not actually anything to do with them. It's just you are changing something, and that is very upsetting to a lot of people, because they're used to viewing you in a certain way, or they're used to seeing you as the fat sick person, or the person that is always complaining about joint pain. If you change that, although it actually isn't anything to do with them, they tend to take it personally, in that they let that affect them somehow, and people just hate change. So it's probably not anything to do with you. It's just change that is upsetting to them. And a lot of people will react out of that fear of change, or just when the status quo is upset, they will react, usually in a negative way. And of course, that is directed at you, even though it almost certainly has absolutely nothing to do with you. It'll be directed at you because you've upset the status quo. In their minds, you've upset the status quo. So just understand, if you can understand that people hate change, and people struggle with change, maybe that will help you to, when you start getting negative feedback, is to just go, this isn't anything to do with me. This isn't personal. They're just upset about change generally. I don't have to take this personally. This is their thing, not me. So hopefully just recognizing that they may just be having a fundamental reaction to any kind of change around them will help you to not take it personally when you see the negative response to that change. And I think the other thing, because I remember, the other thing is that any kind of, I think humans as a race, we're kind of inherently lazy, and we will take the easy path. Most of us will take the easy path given that option. And so when you go and make a change that propels you towards a better life, a healthier life, a more fun life, a life where you're thriving and not just surviving, you're actually, in them, they're looking at you and going, oh, that's work. They're making me look bad. They're getting up off the couch and doing something positive for themselves. They actually have the discipline to stop eating bread and pasta, and I don't. So in their minds, it's not you, but in their minds, you're making them look bad. You're making them look lazier. You're making them look like, well, not as good a person, because they think, well, I don't have the willpower to do that, or I couldn't do that, or I'm too lazy to do that. So, but again, none of this is about you. This is about them, that your progress, your success, your weight loss, your whatever, is making them feel less, and everybody hates to feel less. So just think about that too, is that when people that you love, or people that are close to you, or people that you work with start attacking you, it might be because they want you to succeed, but they kind of don't, because you make them feel bad. Not because they don't want you to succeed, but it's almost like they're jealous because they don't feel they're good enough to do it. So in my mind, this is almost a cry for help rather than anything else. And again, it's nothing to do with you. It's their reaction to what you're doing, not what you're doing. So their opinion, their reaction is not relevant. It's not true. It's just all wrapped up in their emotions. And so if you view it in that way, you can actually help them. You can help them to not feel bad about themselves. You can encourage them. You can tell them that, not in a pushy way, like, well, you need to do it, but just in a, hey, this is going really well for me, and I feel so much better when I don't eat bread and pasta. If you want some help, let me know.
Right.
So
I love that.
I think I think just a paradigm shift about where their angst is coming from, either because change is difficult for people, or they feel less than because you're getting up and doing something positive that requires work and discipline, and you're doing it and you're succeeding. So just those two things right there, recognize that a lot of the angst that's coming at you is coming from those two places, and it's nothing to do with you.
Exactly. Yeah, I
I'll
love
stop
that.
talking for a while now. I got a bit
No, I love
passionate
it.
there.
I love it when Carrie Brown gets triggered. I love that. So 3 things. Well, I totally agree with you. Basically, this is a paradigm shift. And what that means is when somebody sees you succeeding with this way of eating and they're used to the standard American diet or the standard UK diet, you basically jumble up their worldview. It's almost like if you had a close personal friend and you thought they were a great person, and then you found out this terrible thing about them that they did, and it didn't jive at all with who you thought they were. You can see how that would just mess up your worldview for a minute. Like, man, I thought I knew them. I can't believe they would do that, right? And it takes you a minute to wrap your head around that. And I mean, you could see the video of them doing it and like, man, I just can't believe that. And it, even with the seeing it in black and white or seeing it with your own eyes, it takes you a minute to change how you think about that person. Same thing goes for your diet, your way of eating. And so many people have grown up and their grandmother taught them how to eat the standard American diet or the standard UK diet, right? That's who taught them, or their mom. And now their grandmother has passed away. And so how dare you, you're indirectly calling into question their grandmother's wisdom that I mean, that's part of their soul. That's part of who they are. Their grandmother taught them to be that and taught them to eat that. And now you're bringing that into question. And so 2 really great strategies I saw scroll by on the comments I wrote down that I also use is to, first of all, is to show, don't tell. Because when you make it verbal, that they feel like they have to reply to you. And if they're not ready to change, their reply is going to be negative, right? And so it's so exciting when you start enjoying the benefits of keto. You just want to tell the world, don't you? I mean, I know I do. Obviously, look at me right now. I'm on Facebook at 8 p.m. talking, to my phone. But if someone's not ready to hear this yet, you're going to get an immediate negative response. But if you lead by example, and just let them see your clothes falling off you, and let them see your psoriasis getting better, and let them see you not popping Rolaids all the time because you have chronic heartburn. When they see those changes, they're thinking about that. They see that. They know you're different. They know that you feel better. They know that smile comes to your lips much easier than it used to, right? And so that's a very passive, non-aggressive way to get this message out that's not argumentative and that's not confrontational, because a lot of times that's how you'll get your negative feedback. You're like a kid that just discovered Santa Claus is not real. And so you're going to go and tell the entire first grade class, just like I did. And that didn't go well for me in first grade. I can remember that day very well when I discovered Santa Claus was not real. And I was trying to help all my classmates by telling them, hey, Santa ain't real. And that didn't go well. I got sent to the office and I got a lot of kids crying and a lot of kids mad at me. That's kind of, if you go out proselytizing keto, you're going to get some of that pushback. And so don't do that. Just show, don't tell. Lead by quiet example. And then secondly, I saw somebody say in the comments, they never say that they eat keto. They just tell people that they're allergic to sugars, grains, and vegetable oils. And I think that's especially if you're going to your grandmother's house and you don't want to offend grandma, you'd be like, yeah, I just came back from the doctor. I found out I'm allergic to sugar, all grains, and all vegetable oils. So I'm just going to eat the ribeye, grandma. I love your pie, but I can't eat it. I'm allergic. And see how you didn't hurt grandma's feelings, and the meal was saved. What do you think about those strategies, Carrie Brown?
I actually, listening to you talk, I never say I'm keto. Almost never. And if I do, it'll be, a while into a conversation. But the conversation will always be, I can't eat wheat, or I am, because I'm genetically intolerant to gluten, or I feel so much better when I don't eat sugar, or I find if I eat sugar, that it makes my joints hurt the next day, so I don't do that. I never talk about keto. I don't.
Yes.
Then if a conversation starts, down, a few minutes in, or if they start asking questions, I might say keto, but I don't pigeonhole myself in that way. I don't present it like it's this fad thing, because they may have heard a ton of negative stuff about keto, because there's plenty of people out there attacking keto or whatever.
Yes.
So I don't use that word. And also, time was saying, if your grandmother or your mother or your best friend has made you stuff, make it about the ingredient, not about the fact that they did it. So, if sugar makes me feel ill, or make it about that, like, oh my goodness, it looks wonderful. I know that I will suffer next because of, not because I will suffer because of your thing or your cupcake, or personalize it so that it's not about them. I'm not sure whether am I still there? I'm not sure if you can still hear me or not.
Now you're better. You were dragging there for a minute, but you're better now.
Okay.
You're better.
So when it comes to relatives, again, I think not consciously, not deliberately, I think some of the people we love, it might be a little bit of a test. Like, I know she's eating this special diet, or I know he's eating keto or whatever. So, and I don't think they're thinking this consciously, but I think some people have this little, but if he really still loves me, or if she really still loves me, then she'll eat this cupcake. So I'm kind of, they're like, what's more important to her? Is this diet more important to her, or is my cupcake more important? And I don't think that's a conscious thing that people do, but I think it gets wrapped up in things personally that have actually nothing to do with them. And so that's another thing to think about, is to phrase it in such a way that they recognize that you love them just as much, but you don't love the flour or the sugar that is in the thing they made. So try and talk to them in a way that separates the ingredients from what they did. So, oh my goodness, you are so kind. I love that you took the trouble to make cupcakes. Unfortunately, flour makes me ill, or sugar makes me ill, or my doctor, if you're under the care of a doctor who's put you on the ketogenic diet, that's always a great thing too. Right now my doctor has me on this way of eating that won't let me, eat flour and sugar. And I don't want to have to go back and tell him that I didn't do what he'd suggested. So just make it.
I love that.
Make it an ingredient thing, not don't reject the cupcake, reject the ingredients that it's made of. And tell them how much you appreciate that you did that, and tell them how much you wish that you could eat that and feel well, but you can't because of the flour. So, someone, I was just looking at the comments, Dr. Berry said no. Yes, there we go, Dr. Berry said no. I was just looking at the comments, and somebody said that she never talks about keto, she talks about the food. So make it all about the food, not about anything else.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
One of the best things is that people cannot argue with this simple statement: I feel better when I eat steak. I feel better when I eat, or I don't feel as well when I eat potato, or I don't feel as. Nobody can argue with that. That's going to stop any argument in its tracks, because it doesn't matter what article they're citing, it doesn't matter what mem they're citing, nothing else matters. If you say, I feel better eating XYZ, or I feel worse eating ABC, it stops the conversation cold, because they cannot argue with that. They can't say to you, no, you don't.
Right. Yeah, that's
so
good.
That for me is like, if you try the other techniques and they keep coming at you, that is a conversation deal breaker. I feel, fill in the blanks.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great idea. It's just like me. I have no heartburn at all when I eat carnivore, and I have a tiny bit when I eat keto. But back when I was eating the stupid American diet, I had heartburn every single minute of every single day. And now on carnivore, I have no heartburn, and so that's a great strategy. I'm not doing this to try to set an example or be a trendsetter or be faddish. I'm doing it because I feel better. I don't have heartburn when I eat this way.
Right. And the other thing I think that you could do surreptitiously, and I know there's a lot of joking about posting your food pictures, but just, and don't do it too overtly, but you can talk about how delicious the food you're eating is without feeling like you're pushing it down people's throats. So, post that picture and say, I get to eat this, it's really delicious, I don't miss the pasta, or whatever, in a very, not in an aggressive way, but just share what you're doing and say, I love this way of eating because I get to eat bacon, or because I get to eat steak, or whatever it is that you love eating on keto that's making you feel so much better. Just talk about that. Talk about what you can eat. Stop talking about what you can't eat. Focus on, I get to eat ribeyes, I get to eat bacon, I get to eat smoked pork chops, which are completely delicious, I get to eat cheese, I get to have, you get milk in your coffee, I get heavy cream in mine. Just talk about the positives. Talk about what you can do, not what you can't do. And so you will encourage other people to focus on the upside, not what they see as downside. And they only see them as downsides because they haven't experienced it themselves and felt the upside. So, just focus on all the delicious things that you can have, not the things you can't have. Because once you've been keto for a while, you don't miss any of that stuff anyway.
Yeah, totally true. Totally true. That's such great advice. I love that. So I'm watching questions here and trying to pick up a few questions that we can talk about. Have you seen any good ones that apply to the subject? Oh, I want to say hi to Nurse Cindy. Hey, Nurse Cindy. And also, Tim, how you doing, brother? I hope you're getting better.
I love that comment. We should tell them, Dr. Berry said I can't have that. That's going to be the new thing now. It's going to be, I'm sorry, Dr. Berry said I can't have that.
Yeah. In that respect, I'll be your doctor. Now, obviously, nothing we do tonight is medical advice, right? This is just two people talking. I am a doctor, but I'm not your doctor, except that you can say, my doctor told me that I shouldn't eat any kind of sugar or grains or vegetable oils. You can say that. You can use me. That's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind being used. But I saw a couple of comments.
So
they're
many
going
comments
pretty fast.
I could make about that. They are.
Watch it, Carrie Brown. But I've seen several comments or questions saying, "Can I just stop my statin? Can I just stop my blood pressure medicine?" And the answer is no. Go see your doctor and tell your doctor, "Hey, recheck my lab work. I've lost however many pounds. I feel like my blood pressure." And then when you go, if you want to stop your blood pressure medication, check your blood pressure twice a day when you're calm and relaxed, and write that number down and take that to your doctor so that you've got black and white evidence. Look how low my blood pressure is. People, when they go to the doctor, their blood pressure goes up. That's called white coat hypertension. That's a known thing, okay? And so if your blood pressure does that, your doctor's never going to stop your blood pressure pill unless you go to him with 2, 3, 4 weeks of twice a day blood pressure readings showing how low your blood pressure is at home. Take your with you so that he sees that you've got a cuff and he sees that you're recording. Then he'll probably say, yeah, let's at least lower the dosage, if not stop it altogether. Or you can stop it for 2 weeks and check twice a day, and then take those readings in and say, look, I stopped this 2 weeks ago. Here are my readings without the blood pressure medicine. If you think I should get back on it, I will. I think both of those are reasonable, but do not stop any medication based on just what we talk about here tonight.
So Lisa, I think it was Lisa, the comments are scrolling by so fast, and on a cell phone, you can only like see 2 and then they're gone. But I think it was Lisa said that she never apologizes for wanting to be healthy. And that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I love that.
Right. And you can actually say that to people, you know, I don't apologize for wanting to be healthy.
Yes,
the only thing
that's
is that,
very powerful.
that they may then say, but your diet's not healthy. And that's when you say, I feel much better. And then again, that's the conversation halter, because nobody can argue with that. So never apologize for wanting to be healthy. I love that, Lisa.
Grab the dogs. Grab the dogs.
Is that
I don't know.
Toto?
No, they're not. They're barking loud. Yeah, Toto and Rhett Butler are startled. I think
What's
that they
happening?
want some Anisha's steak. I don't know. They got triggered there for a second. Yeah, sorry about that. So I've seen a couple of questions. Someone said, I've hit my target weight. Now what? So your options are keto on, an absolutely viable option if you're enjoying this way of eating and you feel good and you want to stay at your goal weight, then I would advise keto on. If you want to drift back into a more paleo and add some fruit back and berries, and I think that's fine as well, because now you have the knowledge of keto. And if you ever say, whoops, I've gained 3 pounds over the last 2 weeks, then you can tighten right back up to your keto and get right back where you were. I would not advise you ever go back to the stupid American diet, because we know that's where you came from, and why would you want to go back there? So I would say keto on. Why would you not? I mean, this way of eating, once you get used to it and once you learn all the ins and outs and all the treats that you get to have, why would you ever stop this way of eating? But if you want to,
you can have Sassy Goat ice cream.
Yeah. If you guys have not heard of Sassy Goat ice cream, it's one of the recipes in Carrie's ice cream book. Dude, oh, I ate so much Sassy Goat. And I figured when I got home that I would have gained some weight, because we ate a lot of ice cream a couple of nights there. I did not gain a pound at Keto Fest or at your house. I ate very well.
You all ate me out of house and ice cream.
And bacon. Yes, we did. We absolutely did.
And bacon.
Another question I saw is, how do I talk to my father? A patron asked me that. And so let's talk about how would you, if you had a father who, say, he's got diabetes, he's got high blood pressure, and you're worried about your father's health, you want to help your father. How are we going to use judo and ninja to help our father without just nagging and whining at him to stop eating the Twinkies? I don't know if Carrie Brown heard my question. Did you hear my question, Carrie Brown?
I didn't. Say the question again.
Okay, so I had a patron ask me a question. How do I talk to my father? My father's sick. He has chronic disease. He's overweight. He has diabetes. What strategy do I use to talk to my father before it's too late? And I mean, you can understand a son or a daughter in that situation. They feel the pressure of time. Like, I'm going to lose my dad if I don't do something about this. What would you counsel them?
Yeah, well, first up, super hard. In my experience, my own father. So those of you who know a bit about me know that I have the MTHFR genetic mutation. I know for sure, and I only got it from one of my parents. I know for sure who I got it from, because I just have to look at my father's symptoms to know that that's where I got it from. So I know that he cannot methylate B vitamins. So I know that he needs to take methylated B vitamins. I also know that he probably has a genetic intolerance to gluten. I have at confession session, I have completely failed to convince my father and my mother that this is real and this is a thing, because they're so wrapped up in standard Western medical care that they can't. I have not been able to change that. So and I tell you that just so that you understand that if you're failing, it's not because you're failing, it's because it is incredibly hard to talk to people that are really close to you, to talk to people that you love about these things. It's actually much easier to talk to strangers, people at work, people that you're not like intimately involved in. So, I'm saying that just so that you understand this is a really, really, really hard thing that you're trying to do. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try and do it, but it's really hard. And because I'm trying to protect you from taking it personally if you fail.
Yeah, because you might.
So it's super hard. I think my best suggestion has been, instead of trying to talk to them directly, send them articles, send them YouTubes if they're technologically able, depending on how old they are. Send them information. But the saying, you can lead a horse to water, is I know why that saying exists, because it's absolutely true. You can only do what you can do, and then they have to pick it up or not. Yep. And here's the hard part. You have to accept the decision they make for themselves.
Yes.
You can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. And that does not indicate any failure on your part. So I think when people ask me about the whole bipolar thing, I say, send them my YouTube video where I'm speaking about bipolar at KetoCon. Just send them that. Just drop it to them and say, I saw this and I thought you might find it interesting, rather than I thought of you, because then they may think, well, she thinks I'm crazy. So, send them and say, I thought this might interest you. And then, but for your care and concern, because I do care and concern about you, then you have to walk away, and you have to not take it personally if they, as consenting adults, choose not to follow up on it. I know that my father has MTHFR. He will not listen to me, and it is so hard because he started to dement, and it's so hard to listen to my mother on the phone telling me these things that he's doing now. And I talk to him, and he thinks my brother is his nephew or his cousin. He doesn't even know who my mother is all the time. And it breaks my heart, because B vitamins, or if you stopped eating wheat, I know these things would make a huge difference. You can only do so much. And I would suggest that the best way is you sending them information, rather than the information coming directly from your mouth. Is that send them something else to look at. Send them to Dr. Berry's YouTube, or pick out the videos that Dr. Berry has created. Send them links to those. Post stuff on your Facebook. Don't be direct about it. And again, you remember to take care of yourself. You cannot love them any more than they love themselves. And if they're not ready, you're forcing them will probably make the process longer, not shorter. Because when people feel pressured, especially by someone who loves them, that can actually make them dig their heels in. So for your own care, just do what you can do, and then let them make their own choice. Absolutely. However hard that is. And I know it can be heartbreaking, because that's where I am with my father right now.
Yeah. And very often especially if you're talking to an older family member, whether it's an older brother or sister, a mom or dad or grandparent, an uncle and aunt, face-to-face, you telling them face-to-face is usually the very worst way you can do it, because they're older than you. They remember you when you used to run around and pick your nose and scratch your butt, right? And so they can't hear you as an adult. They still see you as that younger person or that child. And so very often I counsel people, you've got to go around the back door, as we say in the South. You've got to, if you still had an uncle who was living, Carrie, if you could have your dad's brother come to your dad, that would be so much more likely to work. Or if he has a next door neighbor who he's good friends with, and you could talk to that neighbor, and then that neighbor talk to your dad, that would be so much more likely to actually have an impact on him because he respects that guy. You're just his little snot-nosed daughter who thinks she knows it all, right? You know what I'm saying? That's how my grandmother looks at me. And so that you can't do it face to face. And so I love the idea of sharing a YouTube video or maybe buying a cookbook and be like, yeah, these ice cream recipes are keto. This is the kind of diet I eat. And when they try sassy goat, they're going to be like, damn, that's good. You mean that's good for me? And you be like, yeah, that's good for you. That's the kind of stuff I eat. And then maybe that way you gotta go around the back door. You can't just go face to face with an older relative.
So my situation is compounded by the fact that my brother is a doctor, and my brother is a traditional Western medical doctor and thinks I'm completely mad. Doesn't think that wheat's got anything to do with it, doesn't think that methylated B vitamins have anything to do with it. And it just, so I'm really up against it here because there's his little snot-nosed daughter saying, get methylated B vitamins and stop eating flour and sugar. His son is a doctor saying, don't listen to all that nonsense. I mean, I cannot win. And it breaks my heart, but there's nothing I can do about it. So I have to step back and say, I did all I could, and he's made his choice, and so be it. And it's super hard.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's hard, but sometimes we just have to realize I can't win this and I have to let it go and just love him for who he is. And you're probably not going to be able to change that situation. Carrie Brown, we're coming up on the top of the hour. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, I know. It really flew by, didn't it? And you guys, Nisha's going to post links to Carrie's cookbooks in the comments or up in the show notes. You guys check out and get a cookbook. And if you have a question, leave it in the comments. Carrie and I will be checking back every day or so, and we'll try to answer comments as we have time. Okay. Thank you so much, Carrie Brown.
Bye, everyone.
See you next time.
Love you.
All right, guys, that was Carrie Brown. Check out her cookbooks. I got to jump off here. Or what are we doing, Nisha? We have something else coming up? Is it in the book club? If you guys are members of Nisha's book club, I'm going to be live in there with Nisha in just a few minutes talking about a book written by Amy Berger about Alzheimer's disease. And so if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, you can join me at Nisha's book club on Facebook. See ya.